Hey, it's Mo here from MH Creative, here to show you how to do a simple text animation in After Effects CS6. Here's a video of what we'll be doing in this tutorial. Now I know this is very basic and this only scratches the surface of what you can do in After Effects, but I guarantee what you'll learn in this short video will be of great value and give any beginner the foundation to create excellent work in After Effects. Okay, let's begin by opening up After Effects CS6. We're going to be covering text, solid, keyframe animation and expressions, and in between we'll be covering a lot of the tools that are essential to know about in After Effects. Alright, first thing we want to do is create some text. Let's create some text. MHC for me. The text is black so you cannot see it, so go to the right hand character panel and click on the fill color. Change it to something you can see. I'll change it to white. To enlarge it, click on the bottom right hand handle and click, hold shift and drag out till it's the size you like. Now it's not central on the stage, so click on layer, transform, center in view. Now you can see that it's not actually in the center of it. It's in the center in relation to this anchor point, this little crosshair here. So we want to make that crosshair in the middle of our text. Otherwise, when we rotate it, it'll rotate on that axis where that anchor point is. So in order to do that, we can go to click on the pan behind tool in the toolbar, click and hold shift. But now we're trying to use our eye, so we can't quite see it. So let's go to view, show rulers, click on the left hand ruler, drag out a guide to those top and middle square, and then go up to the top horizontal ruler, click and drag to create. Now we have our central point. Now we can click on that pan behind tool again. Use the scroll wheel on your mouse or press Ctrl plus and minus to zoom in and out. And now if you have on view, you'll have the snap to guides on. So now click and drag that anchor point and it'll snap to the center. There we have it. So now when we go to our layer, transform, center in view, it'll center to the actual center in relation to that anchor point, which is what we want. Now let's get rid of those blue guides by going to the view drop down menu and clicking on show guides. Okay, we want to create a new solid by right clicking in the timeline panel, going to new and clicking on solid. That's all fine, it matches the frame size, so hit OK. Now to move this solid behind our text, click and hold the layer, drag it beneath the text. Now the text is white so we can't see it, so let's go on that. Let's change that fill color to black. There we go. Now we're going to start by animating our white solid, so let's click on this left hand eye icon to get rid of the text because we're not going to be working on that yet. Click on the drop down arrow to the left of the white solid layer, then click on transform and you can see a scale here. So we want our scale to scale from 0% to 100%. So to create a keyframe, click on the stopwatch icon beside it and we can move along not even 1 second, so 1/15 of a second, and then click on this diamond icon to create another keyframe. Now that's our end result. We want it at 100%. So let's scrub back to our first keyframe. We can either drag to it or hit J to go to a previous keyframe and K to go to the next one. That's a shortcut you might use later. So K to go to the next keyframe, J to go to the previous. On the first keyframe, change the scale to 0%. So you can see this chain icon, that means the height and width are proportionally linked. So if you change the height, the width will change with it in proportion and vice versa. If you don't want that to happen, you can click it off and then you can change them individually. So now that if we hit space to play our animation, you'll see that it goes to that size, and that's actually quite slow. So let's make it even shorter by clicking that keyframe, holding it and dragging it so it's even faster. So now there we go, that's a bit better. Now I want to add a little bit of a bounce to that white solid covering up the screen. Now to do that we're going to be using expressions. Now I'm going to give credit to the YouTuber who I originally saw this from in the description below, and that's also where you can get this code, which, don't be intimidated, very easy to implement and will really elevate your work. Alright, to get this bounce effect that you saw at the beginning of the video, click on the last keyframe, go to Keyframe Assistant and click on Easy Ease, and then hold Alt and click on the stopwatch icon and paste that code that you just copied. Now the bounce is very subtle, you can't see it because the solid is so large. So in order to change that, click on the text and change the amp value or amplitude. So I will change it to 2.5. Doesn't seem like a lot, but it will. So now you get that cool bounce effect. So now we're going to animate pretty much the exact same thing on our text layer. So in order to do that, we'll keep this transform layer open just so we can see where those keyframes start and end. So click on the eye icon next to the text. Now we'll start the text. We want it to do the exact scale the exact same way. So go down to transform, open up those drop down menus, and then go forward about the same amount as the same space as these two are. So about there is alright. And then add a keyframe by clicking that diamond icon, go into keyframe assistant, easy ease, alt, click on that stopwatch, paste that text in. I'll change the value to be a bit bigger. I'll make it 1.0. I have to change the scale too. Change the scale on the first keyframe to 0, and there we have it. Our animation is done. Very easy to do, very cool, really effective if you're doing title animations in some sort of quirky fashion. When you're rendering it out, click on this work area end bar handle there and drag it down to 2 seconds, because you're not going to need a whole 30 seconds of it rendered. Then go up to composition, add to render queue, click output to, I'm going to select desktop, you can put it wherever you like, and then click render. You'll hear a siren a symbol go off. Didn't even take 3 seconds to render. It's excellent. And there you have it, done. I hope this video propels any beginners out there watching into creating amazing work themselves, in text animation or otherwise. If you like this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and if you didn't, leave a comment below and let me know how I can improve. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another video soon.